Hello, and let's get on with it. Let's talk about tools and start with the most common one, picks. There's a stone pick, an iron pick, steel, hardened steel, black ice, star metal, obsidian, and Acheronian. Stone pick will mine you 3 or 4 basic items per hit, except for the iron and star metal, which will only yield half, but everything else will give you 3 or 4. Yep, as you can see, iron pick will get you 4 or 5, and it doesn't get penalized by mining iron now. Only stone tools that does that. Then the steel will get you 5 or 6. Hardened steel will get you 6 or 7. Black ice will get you 7 or 8. The same as star metal, it will also get you 7 or 8. Obsidian will get you 8 or 9. Same as Acheronian, also 8 or 9. Differences in the durability, however. Well, stone tools are just basic tools. Then you get iron, which starts with 300 durability. Steel that gets 450. Hardened steel that gets you 600. Black ice 350. Star metal 600. So over here you can already see as black ice is very easy to get once you get to the frost temple. You can switch all the hardened steel picks that you gather from NPCs that tend to drop them a lot, made them into black ice picks, but the durability is pretty low on those. To repair them you need black ice and hardened steel bars. Star metal pick, however, has got much more durability, but to repair them normally to full you need star metal bars, but I would just recommend using the master repair kit on those. Then there's the obsidian pick that doesn't have all that much durability, and keep in mind it all gets lowered once you apply the advanced tool upgrade to them. This doesn't have that much durability, but to create it you need alchemical base, which is somewhat rare, but to repair it all you need is 1 steel reinforcement, regardless of how damaged that is, shaped wood 1 or 2, and obsidian, which obsidian is aplenty. You just go to volcano once and you will have enough obsidian for your entire rest of your gameplay. Acheronian, however, which is the same as obsidian pick, has got double the durability, so this is worth to repair with master repair kits, as with obsidian I just tend to use them up until they break and then repair them with obsidian. I would not recommend using the repair kits on these. But that's about it for picks. Let's go to the next in line, which would be axes. And it follows more or less the same recipe, same pattern as the picks, as in the stone will give you 3 or 4 items, iron will give you 4 or 5. Then there's the Hoarfrost Hatchet, which is exactly the same as iron, it will also give you 4 or 5 items. Then there's the steel, that will give you 5 or 6. Hardened steel will give you 6 or 7. Same as the blessed Hoarfrost Hatchet. 6 or 7. The star metal will give you 7 or 8. There it is. And the obsidian will give you 8 or 9. There you go. There's no Acheronian hatchet, and obsidian one doesn't have much durability. The star metal has doubled up, so it's up to you which one of those you're gonna use. But personally, when I go down chopping trees, I would always use a pickaxe. The reason for that is, aside from branches that you get when using a hatchet on a tree, you also get a bark. And you can never have enough bark. And you all know that, right? Right, so that's enough about axes. Let's go to the next line. Which is cleavers. And it will follow the same pattern again, with some exceptions. Let's spawn some human enemies. Humans, because these religious cleavers, they only walk on human flesh. They don't walk on animals. So let's spawn some humans. Now the iron hatchet will again give you 3 or 4 basic items. As you can see, that was the stone. Now the iron will give you 4 or 5. Yep. The same with the oak cleaver. 4 or 5. Yep. Then the keto keys is exactly the same, 4 or 5 items. Then the steel cleaver, that will give you 5 or 6. And there's the hardened steel cleaver, that will also give you 5 or 6 instead of the normal hardened steel 6 or 7. I think this is an oversight, but well, it is how it is. As you can see, it gives you 5 or 6. The same as the blessed, the kettle keys and blessed yoke cleaver. They will give you 6 or 7. Sorry, they are actually how the hardened steel is supposed to work. So this will give you 6 or 7 from the human. And last but not least is the star metal. That will give you 7 or 8. Let's get rid of all these. Next is the skinning knives. I'm also including the serpentman skinning knife, but I have no idea where to find a recipe for it, but it exists, so I'm gonna include it. And this time let's spawn some animals. And again, the stone skinning knife will give you 3 or 4 items. Oh, that's a lot taken. The iron one will give you 4 or 5. 4 or 5. The steel one will give you 5 or 6. Yep. And now we're gonna have to spawn more. Move away. So the steel one will give you 5 or 6, and then the obsidian one will also give you 5 or 6, because you don't use alchemical base on it, and it's the only tool that you can make in the volcano forge. So I don't know if it's an oversight, but that's how it is. It's not a very good tool at the moment. And the serpent man is exactly the same as the obsidian. It will give you 5 or 6 items, and the hardened steel one will give you 6 or 7, while the star metal pick will give you 8 or 9. And there is no top tier in the skinning knives. I think there is no equivalent to Acheronian or Obsidian, since the Obsidian one is just as good as the steel in here. And last, sickles. Now, sickles start at the steel tier. That gives you 5 or 6 items per swing. Then there's the hardened steel, that gives you 6 or 7. The star metal, that gives you 7 or 8. There's the obsidian, which is equivalent to Acheronian, that gives you 8 or 9. Same as Acheronian, 8 or 9. Though the main difference between the two top tier here is much more than with the picks. As much as the obsidian only has 300 durability, the Acheronian one has 1080. Now the thing with sickles is that when you're hitting plants and bushes, they don't really lose durability, as you can see. So if you just plan to use them on trees to gather flowers and fibers and stuff like that, you might as well just go with the obsidian sickles. But this has a hidden advantage: high durability, and damage might not seem much, but it is a good fighting weapon. It has a double swing, and it kills stuff pretty fast. Let's apply a weapon upgrade to it. And spawn ourselves a dragon hatchling. As you can see, unlike with a normal melee weapon, it blocks you down to animation, you can keep on strafing, hitting stuff. And since you know all the patterns, attacking patterns of the enemies, and that gives you a great advantage. You don't have to pause to avoid being hit, just keep on strafing. And the only time you do pause is to recover stamina, like this. And if you've ever farmed these are the great source of dragon hunts, you would know how long does it take with a normal weapon, and you can see that he's down to half health already, which is not a bad result for a sickle, which is a tool, not a weapon really. Well, it's got 9% armor penetration, and this strafing move while hitting is actually pretty great. So there is a reason that the damage on sickles has been nerfed in the past year. This is the reason for it. If that was any higher, then that must have been the best weapon, as you can see. And one more thing about sickles: you can harvest corpses with them. Now, normally you would think that they don't give you anything, but that is not true. Sickles will never give you meat, nor skins, pelts or hides. So they will not give you the typical cleaver and skinning knife, but every like special items, fangs, horns, dragon bones, dragon horns, or demon blood, sickles are good enough for them. Look. Got a horn, demon blood, and dragon bone. So that'll be it. Thanks for watching. Bye.